Right, so here it is. It's time to pack it, kiss goodbye. It's going. Finally sold it. Well, I say finally sold it. I put it up on Gumtree, got a couple of inquiries, and I've just taken payment for it. So if you see this, James, this will be the last I see of my video. Yeah, this is just a cheap shitty Dell keyboard because I used to drink a lot and keyboards used to get destroyed quite a lot by spilt drinks, so now I just have very cheap keyboards. This is my Razer mouse, which I will probably keep because it's an awesome mouse. These are my Creative iTreat speakers that I bought when I was about 15, 16 years old, and have just been the best speakers ever. I've kept them with me forever, and they're still crystal clear the best speakers I've ever bought. But this monitor was definitely my pride and joy. I spent so much time paining over whether to buy it. I did all the research. I did everything I could to convince myself either to not buy it or to buy it. Took me a couple of months, and in the end I thought, well, I've been waiting all my life to buy a sick monitor, and there was no question really. This is the best. It's 1440p. The only upgrade to this monitor in the future will be 4K, but computers and technology is just not up to scratch to be able to display 4K. You'd need £5,000 PC in order to do that, and a lot of games and things that I use don't even support 4K, especially not at the high frequencies that you would want. You could probably get it 30 to 60 frames per second, but if you want to have G-Sync and 100 frames per second, then in 4K it's just not going to happen. And when such a monitor does arrive, it will be in the £3,000–4,000 range. So and then there's the widescreen aspect of it, and the curved. I don't know if you can see the curve here. You need to have curved for widescreen. For most square monitors, yes, and televisions, it's a bit of a gimmick. But when you're sitting here, and yeah, you can see the curve there, can't you? But when you're sitting here and looking at a widescreen like this, you do need the curve. And actually, you don't notice it when using it. It's one of the things which people say, oh, I don't notice it when I'm using it or looking at it. And that's to be expected, really, because you don't want to see it. Where's my phone going? It's blurry. Sorry, I'm recording this on a Samsung Galaxy S5. Yeah, it just keeps as soon as it... Oh, there we go. It's back in focus. I wonder if I need to switch off autofocus. Yeah, I think switching off autofocus has helped. Yeah, I eat sweets and bananas now, thanks to your InRider. So yeah, I'm going to pack it into my box. Everything is still as is, and we'll say goodbye. So, I tend to keep absolutely everything when I'm buying stuff, just in general. Can't decide whether to keep this artificial light on or not. There we go. I even keep all the bits and pieces that I've taken off the front of it. This is the manual. You know you're buying something expensive when your manual is like this. Although, to be fair, it's probably just lots of different languages. But yeah, I've kept all the cables, even all the zip ties. Not zip ties, but these wiry bits. I'll keep those. And wrap up the cable. In here, I'm not even sure what's in here. Some kind of fixture so that you can add one of those things that you bolt it to the wall or the table, and you can screw it into the back and have it free weight instead of using the stand, which is a pretty awesome looking stand anyway. So this is the packaging that it comes in. Again, everything kept. That's where this, and it just goes straight in with the stand and everything. You don't have to. I don't think you have to actually take it off the stand. I think it just drops quite in. I can't remember actually, but I did take videos and recorded all this when I first took it out. So I'm going to have a quick nosy at those videos. Make sure that it's all going back in exactly as intended. Yeah, as I suspected, it just drops straight in. And then we add this bit of curved packing here, which adds a bit of protection to the curvature of the screen. And this will obviously go down as far as it will go down. Oops, I think I might have touched my fingers on the screen there. Sorry James, I did clean it up before I packed it up. I've still left the sticky bit at the back on because you don't see the back. But obviously up to you if you want to take it off. Most videos I've seen, most people keep that on as well. So I don't know if it's healthy for it to keep it on or to take it off. Not really sure. It will obviously look better. It depends on the room that you're putting it in. I guess if it's in like a freestanding room where people can see the back of it. Right, there we go. It's all packed in. There's your desync cable. Not desync cable. What's the new connector called? Digital. Oh, I've forgotten what it's called, but I've not wrapped it up as tight as the other cables that you get. Just because I don't, once the cable is unwrapped, I like to keep it as loose as possible to keep it flexible. So it's not meant to go down there. I think it was wrapped up slightly here. There's the power, and then there's the UK cup connection there, your adapter in there, your manual in there. Now the only thing I would say is that you had to set it up to go into overclock mode to get 100 Hertz, and when you do that it resets the monitor and switches it back on, so it's still in that mode from what I can remember. But because I've been hooking up to my old PC, which doesn't have the digital connector, the new digital connector, it's only got HDMI and couldn't go above 60 Hertz anyway, it didn't come up with a little symbol in the corner, which is like a Fraps kind of frame rate monitor that's built in, and I think it's still set to that, but you might want to tweak around with the other like color settings and pre-settings depending on what you're going to do with it. I do a lot of graphics design, so I tend to have no extra graphical effects or color because I need to see my graphics as they actually are rather than overhyped. But for sometimes for movies especially, and for games especially, you might want to go into game mode because the colors are just unbelievable. And if you find it's too bright as well, it's got like a kind of red mode which allows you to see things in a kind of a red haze, which you get used to after a while, but it does look very good, especially with Division. I think Division was the first game I played on this screen, and I definitely tweaked around with the color settings just to get it absolutely looking great. So here it is, right in the glorious sunshine. What a beautiful day it is. Sunday. I think I'm actually going to put it in. I feel like Pablo. Now, how do I put this in whilst trying to video record at the same time? I don't think I can. Right, so there she is. I've decided to put it in the back seats of the Jeep rather than the boot, because my boot's got stuff in it which I need to take down the tip. Where am I taking it? Right, so I'm taking it now to my place of work, which, you know, I'm a partner there. I've got the keys, so I'm basically going to drop it off, and I have some work to do actually there, because tomorrow I'm expecting a delivery and I'm going to have to probably stay in most of the day waiting for that delivery. So I'm going to take this here now, and yeah, in she goes.